First. All right. So,
There she comes.
oh, great. Hi, good evening. Calling the Palo Alto Public Art Commission August 17, 2023 meeting to order. I'm going to make a roll call. Commissioner Miyagi,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Present.
Commissioner Gordon,
Here.
and Senior Shen present. And we may have Commissioner Waltock joining us remotely under just cost. So when she joins, we'll add her to the meeting. Okay. Are there any agenda changes, additions, or deletions?
There are none.
Okay. Are there any public comments? Okay, action items. The first action item is approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from July 20th, 2023?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call. Commissioner Miyagi,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Gordon, yes. Okay, and yes for me as well. Do we have any city official comments?
Yes, we do. We have some eye candy to share with you this evening, commissioners.
Yes. Oh, nice.
We're going to talk about code art a little bit later. We're having a little technical difficulty with our other visuals. Okay, so Excel on front of the Art Center by Brian Coleman has been completely restored, and I've never known it to look this good. This is as close to what it was when the artist finished working on it. So there have been so many upgrades to it, and improvements in some of the wiring and some of the challenges with the piece. So you'll have to go by the Art Center and see it sometime. It's looking wonderful.
Is it better at night?
It's better at night, but it's got a huge presence during the day as well. So next slide. So Beth Nybeck's Mama Bear has gone to the spa for a couple weeks from Hoover Park. So we hope to have her back by the ice cream social that they have in Hoover Park. So that maintenance project is underway. And then we have a couple of upcoming public workshops with Kirti Bassendine. Thursday, August 24th from noon to 2, and Wednesday, August 30th from 4 to 6. Both of those are taking place at the Rinconada Library. All are welcome, and you're encouraged to bring items that make you think of home, in particular flat items for the craft activity. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a good turnout for those as well. And that is it for city official comments.
Great. Thank you so much. We have 2 action items. First action item is Code Art 2023.
Thank you. So we do have a little visual to share on this one. We just sent the cards and maps and posters to the printer. So we will have those in next week. So here's a little sneak peek of the cards. As you may remember from previous Code Arts, there are small cards that people can walk around and look for the various installations. So that's what it's going to look like. Here this evening, we are requesting funds in the amount of up to $7,000 from the Public Art Fund derived from private development monies to support the Code Art Festival. And this is primarily for rentals. So we knew we'd have some additional rental needs. So it's, generators and, safety equipment and things like that. So, so that's what we're here to ask this evening.
Do you have any questions or comments? I have a question.
Yes.
The $7,000, is that based on budget or estimates?
Yeah, so that's based on estimates we've gotten from our events coordinator that we've hired. So she's gone out, looked at the rentals and figured out what the budget amount is that we need.
Did we have comparable expense from prior Code Art?
Yes.
Just a question on safety items. That's so interesting. What do we rent that keeps everyone safe?
Well, sometimes we need additional ADA ramps, cord covers, things like that. So I noticed that Commissioner Waltuck has joined us. And so if you all could take a moment and she can make her declaration she needs for AB 2449 to join the meeting.
Yes, I'm here remotely for cause and nobody is in the room with me.
Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
So the other item I wanted to bring up with you besides the funding allocation was that, and we were going to discuss this at our retreat, but we had trouble getting a retreat date. So this evening, I just wanted to let the commissioners know we do have a big need for you all to really help us pull this off and make this event a success. So we do have a number of commissioner volunteer roles that we would really hope that you can sign up for. So there's one that's more immediate. If one or two commissioners are up for going around to the downtown businesses with information and asking if they might do something special over the Code Art weekend. We're not asking for free items, but just a special experience that's only available that night. And so for instance, on Cal Ave during Third Thursdays, some of the restaurants will have a free tasting of something with a glass of wine or a free, just something that's a little bit different that particular night. So that's an immediate need. And then during the event, we'll want commissioners to do public tours. We're going to lead 2 each night. Help staff the information table. We want to make sure there's at least one commissioner or staff member at those tables at all times. People who can speak to the public art program and the event at large. And also we need commissioners to go out there and take public surveys. So with the iPad, go out and ask people questions and whatnot. So, so that's it for Code Art.
Can I just ask a quick question or 2 quick about marketing and PR? So I know there's people said last year that they didn't know about Code Art. And so I was thinking about just now 2 things. And I'm wondering, how can I help and do this? But maybe it is, we have to add some more funding. I don't know. But number one, I don't know how many people actually read papers anymore, but maybe if we can do a spread or an ad in one of the papers, I don't know if they would do it complimentary, probably not, but just putting it out there. The second thing would be, I know the Palo Alto, like on weekly online. I don't know if there's a way we can have a little banner or something. But I'm willing to be open to adding additional funds to help, if that will help promote it. Because I think it's important for people to know it exists.
So that's a
I'll
great
stop
point, and that is actually already underway, that we're going to be in the weekly's digital media, their weekend special e-blast that they do and whatnot. Additionally, there is another conference taking place the weekend prior in San Jose, CODA Summit. And so we are going to be distributing materials there quite a bit. And of course, this time around, we also have Denise doing amazing things with social media, which really helps get the word out as well.
What about like Nextdoor or any of those kind of neighborhood initiatives in terms of getting the word out?
Well, that's something that's great. The commissioners can help post on Nextdoor. That would be wonderful.
Okay. And also, sorry, just to all your points before about how we can help, is there going to be a sign up sheet or how can we volunteer to do any of those activities?
Just email me what you're interested in and what your availability is.
Okay.
Hey, a quick comment about going out to the different businesses, and I know Lauren and I did that last time. The biggest roadblock we ran into was corporate headquarters or someplace else. We need to check with them. So that was the biggest roadblock. Everybody was willing to help, but they had to go up to a higher level to be able to okay that. So I mean, I'm willing to do that again, but just knowing that, and I guess we know the locations. So if we can get businesses around those locations to do something, I think that would be the thing to do.
That's great.
Any additional comments or questions? If not, then I think people can sign up with you after the meeting. I just have one observation on the downtown partnership, picking up off of what Nia was saying. On the, I was looking at the cards that we have. Is it possible to also, like, when we're contacting them, to say, hey, can you put this up? Would
Yes,
that
so
be
we
an
have
opportunity?
posters that we'll distribute as we get closer to the event.
Uh-huh.
And definitely we will approach various businesses hoping that they'll put that up.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. All right, moving on, the next action item.
Actually,
Yes.
Need to
I'll make
vote.
a motion on that. I move to approve funds in the amount of up to $7,000 from the Public Art Fund to support Code Art 3, which will be October 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Second,
Perfect. Roll call, Commissioner Miyagi,
yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Waltuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
and yes for me as well. Thank you, full house. All right, next item is the Public Art Commission members issue.
So this is really a commissioner-led discussion. You have a draft letter before you that's marked with the watermark. And so the intent this evening is, if the commission is in favor of having this sent to council, that you would then vote to do so.
So I'll just preface the letter. This draft letter was something that, we have a list of reasons that Elise had helped compile, that we had articulated for reasons to request for the restoration of number of members back to 7. And based on that list of reasons, I had prepared a draft of the letter, and Lauren had reviewed it and provided her valuable input. So this is essentially a collaborative effort on this draft that we're looking at. And in addition to this letter, I believe we also have a copy of the Public Art Commission position paper that was prepared several years ago, at the time when we were addressing a number of issues. And so this is essentially a refresh, just to bring to people's mind some of the issues that were considered at that time.
Hey, one other thing to consider, next year, I think Sinya and Lisa are up for reappointment. And then the following year, Lauren, Nia, and I are termed out. So there goes the institutional memory. Everything is kind of walking out the door at one time. So if we have 7 members, that will expand that institutional memory and to keep it going, because otherwise Elise and Nadia are going to have a hard job to get these people up to speed and working on what's been happening. So I think it's vitally important that we go to 7 members, just for institutional memory, for one thing, and the more broad view that we bring to the table for public art in Palo Alto.
I agreed. I think your comment about continuity and historical knowledge is covered under point 2. And then also the diversity point is covered under point 1 of this draft letter.
I don't know if it's helpful, but considering what Ben just said, is there a way to just include a attachment or whatever showing every member and then when they're expired, their term, and just put a little note just so people can have a visual to see the term limits, because that will help, or else it's broad.
We could, yeah, that's a good idea. And when we sign at the Palo Alto Public Art Commission, we can then list our names, titles, and term dates.
Sure.
I have a question. I have the agenda and everything, but I do not have the attached letter from the email. Am I missing something?
I think it went.
The draft letter
I don't have a copy of the draft letter.
in the agenda, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Lisa,
ha-
I believe you're talking about Commissioner Miyagi's position paper, and I do apologize, it wasn't part of the packet, so I will
Okay,
make sure to
okay.
send you a copy.
But the draft
just ask-
letter in the agenda, if you click on attachment, that's where it comes up.
I clicked on attachment.
The first page would be a staff report, and the second page would be the draft itself.
all I have is code art and then the agenda. Should it be a link from the agenda?
Yes, if you click on the word attachment, if you're looking at the agenda and
Yep.
you see item 2, you see at the end of the description,
Oh,
all
yeah,
caps
sorry.
attachment.
Okay.
That's where the staff reports always are with our agendas.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And in case helpful, would it be helpful for me to kind of verbally summarize the letter?
Yes.
Okay, great. So basically we are appealing to the city council to request for them to reinstate the commission membership to 7. And the reasons we are outlining, number 1, the first reason is to address diversity. We believe more members will, reflect greater diversity. Second is continuity of historical knowledge. It takes a long time to essentially onboard a commissioner. And so when we have turnovers, it could cost a lot of, significant change, volatility in the commission. Number 3, talks about the number of engagements we have, and therefore the number of commissioners we need to better provide representation during these engagements, including listening conduit, tour guide, and program ambassadorship. Number 4 is talking about diversity and belonging. And so this includes artist outreach, training efforts, policies, and language used in open calls. And increasing the number of voices will better promote equity efforts. And lastly, it's really unique to the Public Art Commission. We have always had received enthusiastic support in terms of the talents that we attract for people that are willing to serve on the commission. So we've really never had the problems that some of the other commissions have experienced, which is lack of willing volunteers to serve on the commission. So these are the reasons we've articulated in support of our request to restore the number of commissions from 5 back to 7. So if there are any other additions or suggestions for the
So-
letter?
I have a question based on previous experiences, and you might have to remind me about numbers. But there have been several instances where we've had a full house and then people have dropped off for various reasons. And I don't think that's been affected, but it's just something to just keep in mind that we have had a full house and then people have moved or people have decided they're too busy to be on the commission. So I don't know. I'm just kind of just putting this out there, but I don't know if the question is if, for example, somebody drops off and then we're back to like 6 or if that's comfortable for us, or is it something to, because I don't think we can find another commissioner. We have to wait until the new cycle. So I'm just putting it out there that there is a very good possibility that we could go back down to 6 if somebody, because nobody's signing a contract, you're signing, you're agreeing to be on the board for a certain amount of, a commission for a certain amount of time, but that doesn't always happen. So I'm just gonna put it out there.
So occasionally they
Thanks.
do recruitments for vacancies because, as you said, people do have different life events and move away. So that's something that's really decided by council when there is a vacancy.
And also actually, I think what you articulated is an additional support. The more members you have, the less impact individual life changes will due to the size of quorum, essentially.
Or Nia, were you saying that it should be increased to more than 7? What, I'm just wondering what a potential solution to your concern is.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Well, it sounds really loud. Sorry, no, I'm just saying if, there's a possibility that there are 7 of us and then 2 happen to drop off for whatever reason, and then we're back to 5. So it's just something, and then I guess I'm just putting it out there, not that we have to go into discussion, but I think it's something, I guess, when we get there, we'll get there, I guess, but it's just something to think about.
I like this letter. I think that Chair Sunya did a wonderful job at drafting it, and I am in favor of just a possible single change of adding our individual names at the end with our terms on it. Other than that, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this letter and send it into the city council. Is that what we need to do next?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'll second. But I have a question. So we sent it to city council, and do we talk to the individual council members about this, or how does that work? Can we do that? Can we lobby the council after this letter?
Well, you can reach out to council members and email them individually. That's your prerogative. The one thing to keep in mind is council does get a lot of letters and emails. It doesn't mean that this is going to do something, but it does send a strong statement that the commission wants to adopt this letter and send it to council.
Well, and I think contacting the council members then reinforces the letter that was sent out. So I think that's what we need to do.
And we also have a representative from the city council.
Yes.
So it sounds to me like after we send the letter, I think the individual members may also reach out to individual city council members to reinforce the message.
You're always welcome to do that.
I also think that because we've had a previous relationship with Mayor Koo, she would be supportive of this initiative, and that would be, someone very who could really help us here. If Tanaka isn't as present, she really knows us well.
Yes. So it sounds like we have a motion, we have a second. Should we tally out the votes? Commissioner Miyagi?
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Waltok?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
And yes for me as well. All right, Do we have any public letters? No public letters. Do we have any commissioner questions, comments, announcements, or future agenda items?
I just wanted to call out, because we were not successful landing a date for the retreat. We will likely send out a new poll looking at January.
Oh, wow.
So
I will just say I cannot, it's hard enough in September or to think far away that it's gonna be hard for me to think that far away, so just FYI. As I go a couple of months at a time, if not 1 month at a time, so just FYI, I'll do my best, but I can't hear.
And then the other item is the Midtown Ice Cream Social is taking place at Hoover Park, September 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. And commissioners are always welcome and encouraged to attend.
The date, September 10th.
That's right. 1 to 4 p.m.
No other matter present. I think we are adjourned. Thank you very much.